So I'll get OBS Studio running. Yes, OBS Studio, and also get Easy Worship running as well. Oh, okay. So I had some videos already loaded up. I'll just mute those. Okay, and I think okay, so that I won't have to entirely delete all the scenes I have. I'll just create a new one. So the ones I have here before is a video angle to church logo countdown. So I'm going to create a new one for tutorial. Yes, okay. I'm going to name it tutorial. So I'm creating a new scene by clicking this plus icon here. So I'll name it tutorial. Okay. All right. So I will leave it at that for now, and then load up Easy Worship. So the particular Easy Worship version that I'm using that seamlessly work with this is Easy Worship 7. So I will load that up. Okay, Easy Worship 7. The one we use in church currently is Easy Worship 6, and we have a crack for that as well, so it doesn't show the Easy Worship watermark. But for this 7, the 7 shows the watermark. But then there's a way around that in order to still be able to use it in OBS Studio without the watermark showing. So I would do some things that are required first. And not that they are required first in a particular order, but I'll just dwell on some things that will we will need set up on Easy Worship. So one of those things is setting up the a lower third display that we'll be using for scriptures, presentation points, topics, minister name, church name, all of those, so that everything will appear on the lower third part of the video. So I already have a theme. I think I'll just click on, um, I'll just load one that I already have. But then I'm going to go through the process of how to create a new thing. So I have one for scripture, and I have inside presentation as well. So the one I have for scripture is this one here. So let's say and I've already set it as my default, set as default scripture theme. So let's say I want to load up a Bible passage, Genesis 1:1. So loading that up now. Okay, I know it's not so very clear. It's not so very visible. Um, okay, but then it shows at the lower third portion. Okay, it doesn't show well here, but at the end of the day, it shows at the lower third portion of the screen. And this is the watermark I was making mention of, but all of this will fix it in OBS Studio. So if I have presentations as well, like the one I currently use, um, like for the last digging deep I worked on. So I had okay, I think this is for the question and answer. So I have the questions already keyed in. So I created a presentation basically with a default theme from the ones I have here. Okay, this is very slow. based on the one I have here. Yes. So I created a presentation, and just like I mentioned earlier, I can set default. So I can set this as the default for all presentation, or I can as well in my presentation just create a new presentation here. Um, while at it, I can choose the theme that I want to use for this particular presentation. Oh, okay, this is showing this the lower third, because it's showing more here. But back to creating a presentation and selecting a theme, because I've already set a default for presentation, so it automatically loads the default. But if I want to switch it to um, other theme, I'll just come to this place, then choose the theme that I want to use. If I'm creating an announcement, the theme is a bit different in that the lower third portion is a bit um, taller to accommodate for more announcements. So I will just choose that. But anyway, before I go too deep into that, I think the first thing to do is creating a theme. So I'm going to create one from here. Okay, I think this is computer power intensive. All right, so this is a theme editor, and what I want to do is first, well, based on my needs anyway, I really didn't need to customize a lot of things. So I just took the first page and customized it. But again, it might become easier if I have a robust theme that I can reuse for other things. But based on the time constraint that we had then, I just had to make do with whatever I could get my hands on to work with. Okay. So okay, I'm going to need this so I can keep it. I'm actually going to need I'm going to need the subtitle as well so I can keep the two. So I'll be using them in the lower third portion of the screen. So the other thing that I will need to now do is add a media file, and the media file is going to serve as the background, the green background, on top of which scriptures will be displayed, um, presentations will be displayed. So one of those that I sent the other time is what I use for scriptures. I think I named it scriptures. So I'm going to look for it here. And before one can access images from here, one would need to actually import images. Once I'm done from here, I'll just quickly show how to import images. So I'm going to select scripture background. So I have scripture background now. But as it is, the scripture background is on top of the text boxes. So I'm going to go to arrange and send to back. Now the text boxes are on top of the scripture background. So I'm going to um, align left for the two of them. Well, anyway, this is just based on preference. Whatever preference I want set for the lower third, I can make those adjustments here. And to be on the safe side, I'm going to set this to do not auto size so that I can control the font size that I want. In case there's going to be an overflow of text, it won't try to chop off the text. or it won't make it too small while trying to auto size, that it will not become unreadable. So, and I can also set the default um, font style that I want for this particular thing. So I'm just going to go with a random one for now. Probably use this. So that will become the font style for this thing. And basically that will be it. But to make a robust um, theme, one might need to consider styling all this portion as well. For now, um, really I really do not have a use for it. But when it comes down to creating um, presentations, or yes, majorly for presentations, to cut down on the editing that is needed for each presentation, one might need to actually consider these other portions as well. Yeah, another thing to do for text so that they are not popping too much is remove the shadow. Okay, remove the shadow here, so it makes it pop less. Since there's already a background, there's no need to have a shadow again. So I'm going to name this tutorial as well. Tutorial, and save it. So I have this saved for presentation. So to have for scriptures, we just have to go to scriptures and repeat the same process of creating a new theme. But since I've already shown how it is done for presentation, I'll just skip that part to try and cut on. Okay, I think this is actually needed. Okay, I'll just go ahead and show how to create for scriptures, because it's sort of a bit different. So I will try and create another thing. My computer is slowing down, so we have to wait for that. Okay, has become really slow. Okay, um, so for it's also the same process. So I already have the text showing on the screen. What I just need to do is import a background, which is from the images I already have loaded up for for um, for this purpose. So okay, and I also think I made a mistake earlier using scriptures background for presentation, but that doesn't really matter anyway if it serves the purpose that I want it to serve. So I've already loaded up the background, and as I did earlier, I'm going to send it to back so that it's not on top of the text that I want to show. So the next thing now is actually drag this into place. Yes, drag it to the point where I need it to be. Okay, well, this is not so accurate. I don't know if doing this will make it accurate, but yeah. So the idea is to have it a bit separate, the Bible text and the content a bit separate, so I can align that as well to the left, or anywhere to the right, anyone that works. And okay, I can push it to the top as well. Can't remember. Oh, can I set? Okay, yeah, I think I can set Okay, so I can align this to the left. This was the left alignment I was using earlier. That was not easily visible. So as well, like I did earlier, I'm going to set this to a fixed to a fixed font size. So I'm going to be using 18 for that. And because I removed it from auto, so it's going to maintain um, a fixed font size. So I'll set the content to 24. Okay, I think 24 is too large. Put it at 18. Okay, which is still too big. So I'll try 16. Okay. Anyway, the idea is we try to align these as much as possible to where should they align to, which is here. Okay. Yeah, I think this should work. Well, there are other things that can be done still, which I can't really remember how to do all of them now. Okay, this one is not needed. But the idea is just to have everything at least showing like this. And I've tested with some um, lengthy Bible chapters and Bible verses. They don't seem to overshoot this boundary. And for some that actually does overshoot, Easy Worship knows a way of splitting them. So I'm going to save this as tutorial as well. Okay, so done that now. So the last portion I will show in this Easy Worship before heading over to OBS Studio is how to import images so that we can have backgrounds imported. So we'll go to media, then choose images, then we add new images. Okay, this is going to take. Okay, all right. So um, I can just go to where I have my. Okay, so I have one here. I can just select any one that I want to use. So, so it's already imported now. So this now makes it available for use while creating themes. So I have it imported here. Topic one. So when I head over to a theme editor, it should be available for me to use. Alright, so for now, okay, maybe the last thing, not still the last anyway, but I can just use the opportunity to show this. So let's say for a particular video that has scriptures, that has bullet points, I can use this opportunity to show how to schedule those scriptures. So let's say the opening text is Genesis 1 1 to 8, Genesis chapter 1, verse 1 to 8. So I already have that. All I just need to do is drag and drop over here. And earlier on, when I was talking about um, easy worship, knowing how to section or break lengthy verses, it's same thing like we have here. So I selected Genesis 1 1 to 8. It was smart enough to break them into verses. But when some verses actually become too long as well, there's a setting to have them broken and continue as a new slide. So the first one is just going to select this, then, and as I'm selecting it, it's changing here. By the time we have it showing on OBS Studio, as we select as well, it changes on the screen. So if I have other verses, let's say I have Revelation 2:10. I don't know what's in 2:10 anyway. Okay, let's say we have Revelation 2:10. Can drag that as well, and this schedule can be saved. So what we currently do for church is for every services we have schedules. So for all of the service we've had since 2018, we've saved all the schedules used for all the services. So every Bible verses, every announcement, not announcement, every Bible verses and everything that comes on the screen are saved as schedules. So we can go back to each of those services and still extract out the Bible verses, the Bible text that was used, and if there were bullet points. So all of this is just for management's sake anyway. So I can save this as a schedule. So I'm going to save it as a tutorial. So what this allows me to do is that even when I close Easy Worship, I can just easily come back and open my schedules, and everything I have arranged is here again. So I'll pause for now on oh okay, yeah, one last thing to show on Easy Worship is the display that all of this goes to. Yes, in a regular church service, in our physical church meetings, we display to screen. But for this purpose, we are not going to be displaying to screen. We are going to be making use of NDI stream. And that's why I particularly mentioned a need to use Easy Worship 7 because it's a lot straightforward with Easy Worship 7. I tried it on Easy Worship 6. It wasn't coming along well, and it was going to require a lot of editing. I will need to have an alpha layer so that this black portion will not overlay things in OBS. But with this NDI stream, it just happens automatically. Alpha layer is applied, and it's a lot easier anyway. So to adjust that, I will click on I've already clicked on edit and options just to show that again. All right, I think Easy Worship is really computer power intensive. So edit, then options, then I'll choose I think it should be under display, but I'll wait for that to load up. Okay, it's going to load up. Okay, all right, it's taking too long. All right, so it is here. So yeah, it's on under live. So I already have that set up for what we are currently using it for. But in a normal church setting, I will have just selected monitor one primary. So this allow me stream project to the screens. But for this purpose, we need NDI stream. So once this is set, and if there's any extra setting that needs to be done there, they can be done here as well. So that's all we just need to do. Set it to NDI stream, and that should be it. Okay, I just quickly want to check what's under scriptures. I can't remember again, but I'm not sure we need to do any settings from there. Oh, okay, do scripture font, the verse font. Oh, okay, yes. The smart setting that I said that Easy Worship has that allows it to break long verses. I think yes, it's from here that we set it. Break on new verse. So if it's unchecked and we type something like Genesis 1:1 to 2, it's going to show the entire verse. But if we have it set, it's going to break it into individual verses. And the other part is this. If I have a very long Bible verse that counts as just one verse, this we normally keep the entire verse on the screen. But if I have this set, automatically flow scripture on multiple slides. So if I have a verse that is too long, it will break it as required for me. So it says minimum font size before breaking slide 24. If we take our mind back to the auto option I was setting for the themes when I was creating themes for scriptures and presentation, I removed it from auto and have it set on a fixed font size. And I had to do that for consistency reason. So if I allowed the auto option to be selected, it's going to result into having inconsistent font size for the scriptures. But then still, if a particular scripture is longer than what it should be, Easy Worship would break that based on this based on these settings. I don't know what this does. Oh, okay. I think this should help fix the thing I was trying to do. Reference indent. Yeah, okay. I never really said this initially, and I was actually struggling with getting it to align. But yeah, thankfully I have that now. So if I try to load up this again, I don't know. I think this is frozen. Okay, it's loaded up now. And it's showing like I wanted to show. But okay, the old settings anyway. We can we can still figure all of those old settings out because right now it's already chopping off the verse. And I think it's that extra indent that I added that is making this happen. But nonetheless, we can still go back to our theme and edit it again till we get to what we want. Alright, so I think we are done for Easy Worship side of thing. So we'll now head over to OBS. So we can already see based on the setting I have that the scripture is showing here on OBS, but I'm going to fade that to black. So how do I get the Easy Worship to show on the scene I have created? Earlier I created tutorial scene to show how to add all of add Easy Worship to the screen, load up a video, add the image logo as well. So I'll click this is where I added the scene initially. So I'm going to add sources to the scene. I'll quickly check if this is still recording. Okay, still recording. Alright, 29 minutes in. Okay, so I will add a source. So the source I'm targeting is NDI source. We are streaming to NDI stream on Easy Worship. So I need to add NDI source. And it's still this same NDI source that I think we use for those wireless cameras. So I have NDI source. I can name it what I want to name it. Easy Worship 7 Stream. Okay. Source name. Okay, it already picks up my Easy Worship that is live already. So I can do all the settings that I need here. I think I checked this. I don't know if my computer would help with that. Normal save. So low latency. I guess that's going to demand more on the computing power of the computer anyway. So okay, and I have that on the screen. This is what we have currently loaded on Easy Worship. Anyway, let me use a shorter verse so I don't keep seeing the chopped off Bible verse. Then let me just use okay, let me stick to still chopped off version. Come on. This is really slow on my computer. Okay, it seems fine now. So I will head over to OBS and it's already changed here. So the workflow now is Easy Worship is loaded to OBS. Once the video stream is showing and we are recording, then we can change the Bible verses in real time. Alright, so the other part that I need to show here is how to take out this Easy Worship watermark. So I'm going to come here, right click on it, and transform. So edit transform. I'm trying to remember. I think I set this to top 400. Yes, top 400. And okay, top 400, and I think I set this to 400 as well. I can't remember. No, that's 400. Okay, I'm not sure I did any other settings here. Okay, I didn't do any other setting. All I just did is drag this down, and that was it. The watermark is gone. Alright, so the other part that I need to add is add video source. So for video source, I'm going to use the media source. So I'll just have media source, video input, or recorded video input. But the okay, all right. I wouldn't want to get into the complexities, but then there's a downside to using media source. There's no control on the media that's being played over here. Control in the sense that I can't pause, I can't stop. So once a stream starts, it just continues. And that was what we saw in the beginning of this recording when I opened OBS, that there was a video there that just continued playing when I started OBS. So I'm going to browse to the video that I want to use and add it to the video source. So the way I was doing it was load a video per time. So okay, I want to find a video that I've not edited. Anyway, so I'll just use a random video then. So these other settings that I have here just sort of helps my workflow. So if I set close file when inactive, I will be able to restart the video. Let's say, okay, there was a mistake and I need to correct, but because there is no pause and play, and I will need that the video gets to restart. So if I make the video source inactive, which I will show soon, it it allows me to restart the video. So that's why I just use this one. But anyway, it's just for my own workflow. There might be others that works better. Alright, so I have that now. So I have okay, I have these two now, and I will drag this to be above this so that it's always showing on top. Alright, and then because I said um, um, you should hide it when not active, so the video is not playing now until I fade into here before it starts playing. But then there's a problem with video. We need to transform that as well. So I'll just drag it to fill the screen and then fade to the program. So this program is what people get to see. Let's say we're in a live worship session. What shows on this part of the screen, on this right side of the screen, is what the viewers show. So everything that is here is what the operator sees. Alright, so that's pretty much it. So the last part is managing audio. There was a particular video that I shared earlier that had that was echoing, and because um, um, that was because of these different audio sources. So when I clicked on start recording here, it just recorded all the audio sources, hence the echo. Yes, and the last part is getting the audio out from video source, because by default it mutes the audio on the video. So to do that, I'll just go to advanced audio properties, and the one I'm targeting is okay, this is the recorded video input source that I have. So I'm going to set the monitor to monitor only. Okay, monitor only. Yeah, so that I'm still audible, I'll reduce that. So with this now, once I click on record, it records. So let me just start recording. It records the audio as well as the video that is showing. So now we have two audio sources, one from Easy Worship Stream. So I will have to cancel this out. And I've already cancelled every other source out so that it's just one that is being recorded. So the last thing that I will show that was useful for me for one of the videos that I edited is adding audio filters. So I saw that I could actually suppress noise, and this works seamlessly with very minimal settings needed. And I also added compressor to make the voice level consistent and to pop and all of that. So mm, I think this is the end. And so when I do recording, I have the two screens side by side. So while I'm listening to the video play, whenever I hear any Bible verse that needs to come to screen, because I've already keyed it in the schedules. It's not really difficult for me. I'll just come here, click on it, and then it changes on OBS Studio. Click on it and it changes on OBS Studio. But I guess because my computer is a bit slow, um, it might not be so fast. But okay, so let's say I've already shown the Bible text and I need to focus on the preacher or the presenter. I'll just click here and focus is taken back to the presenter. And if I need to show anything again, and that's it. Yes, and that is all. I'll just stop recording this. So I'll go to where it's saved, and let me just close this anyway, since I don't need them anymore. Okay, I think that could just all right. I don't need any of this anymore. All I just need to do is oh, the video I've taken, which is this 15th of April. And another thing that I actually like about OBS is it helps compress the video to some reasonable form. Okay, that beginning part was where the echo was. I don't know if that was echo. Okay, before I reduce the volume, I guess. Anyway, so we have recorded with some text overlay, and this is the end of my tutorial. Oh, 40 minutes. Anyway, alright, so I'll stop